Thank you very much. Thank you. This alliance, Black Jewish Alliance, has 40 members, elected officials, black and Jewish, from every single part of the city. Some of them are here today. Let me just say briefly about the incident. The bottom line is that when incidents of anti-Semitism or racism happen in this city, it's not about one community standing by itself because it's a swastika and another community standing by itself because it is a noose or another case of racism. We stand together because an attack upon any community is an attack upon everybody, and that's what this is all about. So we are standing together, the very latest. We have this young man, I know his family for over 25 years, who was the victim of a horrible incident of racism, of anti-Semitism, when he was attacked and injured and required his head to be stapled. But and this wasn't a robbery. It happened during the Sabbath, when religious Jews don't have money in their pockets, and others know that. He was attacked. He was called all kinds of names with the word Jew as part of that expression. So we are here together today to say that every single incident is one incident too many, and we're going to stand together and fight this. I also want to mention one other thing that Eric and I have been talking about, and we've been talking to the leaders of this community, and that is that the police department is the greatest police department in the world, as far as I'm concerned. But there are serious problems in this area in terms of the police department. And I don't mean just the last 4 days. I am talking about the police department with regard to being responsive enough to the Jewish community. And I'm talking about situations where there is an interest to not classify incidents as anti-Semitism, even though it is crystal clear to anyone who's thinking and listens to the facts that it is anti-Semitic. There's an interest to declassify or not to classify things. And I am asking that there's an investigation on every single incident over the last 18 months, because there have been many concerns in this community to address those issues. Because I just want to mention some of the elected officials who are here or about to be here. I know the Comptroller Thompson, who's part of our coalition, will be here momentarily. Assemblyman Karim Kamara, Assemblyman Alec Krasny from Brighton Beach, Alan Mizell from a different part of Brooklyn, Assemblyman William Scarborough from Queens, who's part of our coalition, State Senator Jeff Klein from the Bronx, of course, Letitia James, who will be speaking, and Councilman Matthew Eugene. But we stand together wherever it is. I'm going to go to every part of the city when I'm invited. If there is an incident, and I'm going to stand with my colleagues, be it in Harlem, Bedford-Stuy, or anywhere else in this city, we are together to say to the bad guys and gals, we're not going to tolerate it, plain and simple.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another example of hate. I'm going to take a different approach to what the elected officials have spoken about, and I'm going to put the onus on NYPD directly. We have repeatedly requested NYPD to take a firmer stance in protecting the Jewish people. Now, I've written to them, I've spoken to them, everything has fallen on deaf ears. I have begged them to take an interest in protecting my people. Now, I've spoken to Inspector Vega. There's a little chat in my organization that Vega's vague on crime. We have an issue in our community where there's been hate against our people, and the police department characterizes those incidences as robberies rather than saying what they truly are, because they're playing politics with my brethren. We will no longer accept this kind of treatment from NYPD. I've spoken to Chief Fox on numerous occasions. He, in my view, is not committed to the safety of the Jewish people.
That's right.
Now, if we don't get this situation under control and deal with those people that hate my people, God forbid something like this should ever happen to the Jewish people. Thank you.
I think Samuel, I'm saying.
He's going to tell you what happened Friday evening, and then later on there'll be a chance for some questions. Right?
Sure.
He'll try to answer some questions.
First of all, I'd like to start by thanking everybody for coming and showing your support for this ongoing problem, in our community. I was Friday night walking after the Sabbath meal from my brother's house, walking down Brooklyn Avenue, going to visit my friend. I made a left on Carroll Street, walking towards my friend's house, which he lives on Carroll between Brooklyn and Kingston. And as I was walking, I saw 2 African Americans walking in front and 3 African Americans walking in back. As I passed the first group, I was viciously beaten and clobbered all over my body as I fell on a fence. As I got up, bleeding from my head, I walked to my friend's house and got help from his mother, who called the ambulance, the Hatzalah. From then, they treated me, and I was taken on a canvas by the New York Police Department from the 7-1 precinct, and we searched for around 15 to 20 minutes to no available. No perps were found. I was transported to Kings County to receive a staple in my head for my deep gash, and I was cleaned up and I was let out. This is an incident that's been going on for a long time in this community. It hasn't been addressed properly. I think there's a lot of talk. I was actually there by the press conference when Mr. Klein died in front of the Jewish Community Council, and I heard all the talk, but I didn't see any action because we're standing here today. I hope we take this step forward, like the community leaders and the politicians have come here today and said what the plans are, and I hope this will be the last incident ever again.
I'm going to ask the question that everybody asked. When they attacked you, was there any verbal conversation between you and them?
While I felt I was being pushed, I was viciously beaten. I was harassed and had anti-Semitic and racial comments said at me. I think you heard them before from the other news agencies. I could repeat some.
Can you repeat them, please?
They said, you little Jew boy, you think you own this neighborhood? We're gonna kill you. You effing Jew, and so on. And they mercilessly didn't stop beating me for 3 to 5 minutes straight. With the cries of help being heard, no one has heard them, and I had to wait till they stopped, till they get away. What was that?
Reaction to this hate in this time.
I can hear you.
Your reaction.
I'm not oblivious to it because it's been going on for all this time. 2 weeks before that, I was mugged on President Street in New York by knife point. And I've seen it while growing up. I'm in this community, going to school from pre-1A till now, and unfortunately, this is a problem that has never been fixed, and has never been stopped. I believe right now it came to a point that has to be cut out, or like Mr. Beryl Sugar said. That it's going to come to a point that I don't want to say what's going to happen, because it's gone really bad.
Samuel, could you tell us what was going through your mind at the time, though? I mean, were you thinking these guys were trying to take your life? What were you
I didn't. I wasn't thinking. My thinking process didn't start until halfway through. I didn't even understand what was happening, and once I started to realize what was happening, I started screaming help. But as again, nobody was there.
Okay.
Did they reach into your pockets?
No,
no. Did they say, "Give me your money"? Did you say, "I don't have any money. I have nothing"?
No, there was no confrontation, and there was no pickpocketing going on. I didn't have anything in my pockets, and I think they knew that.
What would you like to tell them?
That it's time for everybody to put all their issues aside and come out and address them and put a hate. We have to put a hate to this hatred that's been going on over here.
Okay.
Balcony, Balkany.
We just want to close up with Assemblyman Jeffries, who covered parts of this area. Assemblyman Jeffries.
Well, let me just say, on this Martin Luther King Day weekend, of course, we are reflecting on the life of times of Dr. King. And Dr. King, of course, is well known for saying many things. One of the things that has always touched me is his statement that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. True. And we're not going to tolerate injustice and hate against the black community, and we certainly are not going to tolerate injustice and hate against the Jewish community. True. And so I join with, we're not going to tolerate it. And so I stand with my Jewish brothers, just like I stand with my African American brothers and my Caribbean American brothers, because we're all one in this community, and we'll stand with each other so that we can eradicate and stamp out this type of hatred. God bless everyone.
As Governor and I close, and I think it's crucial. No person with the blue uniform or shield on attacked another person because of their ethnicity. And although we demand that the police department ensure we have the resources to protect this community, we cannot misguide our anger, because those who live and feed off of hate also want us to live and feed off of the distrust of each other. This issue is about those who want to perpetrate violence because of religion, because of ethnicity, or because of gender. That is our focus. That's what we want to stamp out. We demand the police to do their job, but we also know it is up to our community, our neighbors. Someone heard this young man screaming for help. You do not have to wait until it's your family member. We want our community to come together. The police can't be everywhere, but we can as community residents.
Just 30 seconds. Number one, I think what I'm left with more than anything else from what Shmuel told us is how senseless this was. This was not about hatred and getting a couple of dollars. This was clearly, the knowledge was there that there was no money, there wasn't anything of value, a watch or anything else. This was purely a guy with a yarmulke, a Jewish kid walking down the street, who was attacked because there are people, unfortunately, sadly, with hate in their heart. And finally, Eric and I and the rest of the coalition, we don't want to just come to these events and have press conferences, but we have an extensive plan that you'll be hearing about of education, of bringing Jewish students and students from yeshivas and students from Bedford-Stuy, Harlem together at all kinds of meetings and honest conversation. So we want to do everything humanly possible. We won't get rid of hate, but we can surely do something about bringing it down. When young people, and these were young people who attacked him, where did that hate come from? Why did they feel hate towards a Jewish kid that they never met before, that they never had any dealings with? They felt like beating him up, and they felt good about it. And they felt that they had accomplished something. We got to do everything in the world, and Eric and I, who have really become like brothers, let me not say like brothers, we become brothers in a determination to make a difference in this city. Thank you very much, everybody.